Today we will be going through an action, war, drama, and thriller movie from 2013, called Angel of the Skies. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The movie begins above the clouds over the English Channel. It is the time of September 1940. Two fighter planes are engaged in a dogfight, where a German plane is attacking an Allied fighter. He tricks him to get himself out safely by turning the plane in all directions. Eventually, he overcomes him and attacks him, but his gear gets jammed. He connects to his control room to help him get out of this situation, but gets smashed into the English Channel suddenly. 4 years later, in September of 1944, Flight Captain Earl received the uniform of one of his deceased pilots, Galloway. When his subordinate tries to calm him down, he yells at him saying that he was married, had a family, and was a father too. He says it feels so heavy to know that he is dead, leaving everyone crying behind. Flight Officer Harry talks to the flight sergeant that they should call the medical officer there for Earl. Harry says Galloway was his best friend, so he needs some time to forget his death. Earl hears their conversation and says he does not need any medical assistance. He will be alright when his mood gets better. After that, the flight commander calls him into his office and expresses his grief to him. He asks Earl to brief him about his dogfight. He tells him that he was entrapped by the 48 enemy planes in the sky. It was really hard for him to escape from there. He asks him to get ready for another assignment to achieve in the air. He says they have to fulfill all the tasks given to them. It is a matter of their reputation. He says he will be accompanied by a new pilot in this task. Meanwhile, a pilot enters his office. The commander introduces Lieutenant Raymond Hawkins to Earl. He adds that he is coming straight from the flying school and was a brilliant student. Earl appreciates his interest in the Air Force and reassures the commander to observe his flying skills in the sky. Raymond does not like the presence of a foreign cadet in their team. He tells the commander that they did not inform him about a foreigner in the team. The commander explains, saying that Earl is joining the mission voluntarily from South Africa. He apologizes to the commander and says he does not have any issue with the captain. Now he dismisses them to join the youngsters in the training. The crew of the young pilots are having fun in a local pub. Dwayne and Flight Sergeant Don drinking while the others were talking about the mission. Meanwhile, Flight Officer Ed joins them and asks Robbie what they were doing there. He also makes fun of their jokes and goes to find a girl for him. The next moment, Earl arrives there to meet his girlfriend Deborah. He asks her to come out with him, as he wants to talk to her and show her something. He takes her outside, shows her the Angel of the Skies, and plans a future with her. Deborah asks him to give up this volunteer service and come to Manchester with her. She proposes to him to live with her mother there. She also reminds him that he is becoming a father, so he has to think about that too. He tells her that he cannot leave the young pilots behind. Later on, the commander gathers them in the meeting room and briefs them on the mission. He shows the map that they are going to attack the small city of Germany, which is full of ammunition factories and fuel tanks. He reiterated to destroy the factories and save the boys fighting at the front. The next morning, Earl checks his plane at the runway and sees his team coming to him. He asks Robertson if he is ready to come with them for the first time. He asks them if they need to ask anything before the mission, but they say everything is fine and will be great in the mission. He dismisses them to get ready for the takeoff. After some time, they are in the skies flying toward the target. Don tries to frighten Robbie, as he is new on the mission, but Earl stops him and orders them to focus on the ships in the sea. He asks the bombardier to identify the target under them. He says they are flying higher, they need to dive a little down first to strike accurately. Earl lowers the plane and orders Harry to mark the position on the map. He makes the formation before the attack when they enter Germany. Suddenly, German anti-aircraft guns aim at them and shoot them. They escape those gunshots, while Robbie from the tail section informs them that a number of German planes are coming to them. One of their formation planes, Red 3, asks the captain to let them go back, as their fuel tank was hit and they cannot make it to the target. But suddenly, German fighter planes intercept their formation. Earl orders Robbie to prepare the gun to attack them. They could not get them at first, but Robertson hits one eventually. He asks the pilots to keep flying, as he is ready to hold the German fighters at a distance. The Germans come at them from the sides, which causes trouble for them to sustain the path. Ed shouts at his staff to down the fighters. The gunners tried their best to hit the Germans, but they were fast and escaped their fire. At that moment, Robbie's gun gets jammed and he gets struck in the pit. He asks for help and Captain Earl sends Ed to check on him. But at the same time, a German plane hits his tail section that kills Robbie. When Ed reaches there, he gets shocked seeing that Robbie is gone and the gun of the tail section is totally out of order now. While they were talking and making an assessment of their damage, another German fighter shot them. That caused the leakage in the left fuel tank. Lieutenant Raymond asks Captain Earl to abandon the plane and jump. But he orders him to remove his hands from the gear of the plane. He remains resistant but removes them afterward. Now Earl asks him to go to the back, and help Ed and Harry to transfer the fuel from the left to right. He goes back in anger but still asks him to abort the mission and abandon the plane, as they do not have enough fuel to reach the target. Earl reminds him that he is not in a position to make any decision. He comes back in the cockpit and requests the captain to turn back. He says they cannot go back after coming this far. He orders Ed to prepare the bombs, when they are just 7 minutes behind the target. While on the other hand, Harry is busy locating the target manually. Earl reminds them that they do not have any target indicators, so they have to be careful locating the target. After some time, Earl orders Harry to drop the missiles on their targets and return to the base immediately. They drop the bombs in a clear sky and move back. In the next scene, their left engine starts making trouble for them. Their auxiliary engines and tubes were blocked. Harry informs Earl that they cannot go to the base. Their fuel is low and their altitude is falling due to the heavy machines on the plane. He orders them to throw the extra luggage out of the plane, so he can manage the altitude for some time. He connects with his squadron and informs them that they are heading to France now, as they do not have enough fuel to reach the base. Harry informs Captain Earl that their third engine is also going out now. Earl asks Raymond to help him control the plane and maintain its altitude. He orders them to bail out and he will stay on the plane to land somewhere safely in France. Ed and Harry refuse to jump out of the plane and pledge to stay with the captain too. Earl and Raymond try to stabilize the plane but it keeps coming down. Now the captain crash lands in the meadows of France. He gets out, checks his crew, and gives them medical assistance. Raymond yells at Captain Earl that he warned him to turn back when they got hit by the Germans, but Earl kept on moving ahead and now they are dying one by one. Ed gets angry at this and asks him to stop talking nonsense at this moment. Earl understands Raymond's anger and he asks Ed to leave him. After some time, they are walking into that area to reach some medical facility. Earl asks Harry about his guess about where they are. He reminds him that when they checked last time, they were in German territory, and now they should keep walking towards the border of France. Suddenly Ed hears some noise from the machinery and stops them. Raymond says it may be some truck, but he alerts everyone to hide in the bushes. They run to hide in the forest and see a German company with a tank and soldiers moving in their direction. The German commander was ordering his men to search the area thoroughly, as he knew the British plane crew might be there. Harry, Earl, Don, Ed, and Raymond hide along the trees and wait for their pass. When they go empty-handed from that area, Earl calls Ed to come out. They find a hut nearby that forest and Earl asks Don to come with him to check it for the water and food. He tells them that if they find these things, then they will wave them to come to them. Raymond asks Ed why Earl is so tough and stubborn. He says when he was in the Battle of Berlin, RAF lost a lot of their good pilots and men. Earl lost his best friend in that battle too. That incident changed him. Now he waves at them in the meantime to come into the hut. They spend that night there with hot food and water. When they woke up in the morning, they saw the owner of the hut, a German woman. They whisper to stop her there. Meanwhile, 2 SS soldiers come there to search her house. Earl forces her to stop them at the door, so his crew can escape from the back door. She does what he says but the German pushes him and enters the hut. Earl leaves her and runs back to join his group, but Ed tells him that Raymond has gone back to take him. Raymond attacks one of the SS soldiers but could not succeed in overcoming them. Earl runs back to the house where he finds that Raymond has been taken by the SS soldiers. Earl asks the woman where they are taking Ray. She tells him that there is a German headquarters in the village on the other side of the forest. They ask the girl to tell them the shortcut, so they should rescue Ray before reaching their headquarters. After that, they go to cross the forest, find the German jeep, and rescue Raymond. While they were discussing taking the SS soldier captive, 2 other German soldiers open fire at them. They run back into the forest and reach the hut. Earl takes his other men with him and runs from there too. A Nazi commander, Stütze, comes to her hut and interrogates her to tell him where they have gone. She tells him everything and begs him to not hurt her. He assures her but orders his captain to kill her. He takes his men and orders them to start following the enemies. After some time, Stütze finds Earl and his crew in the forest. He shouts at them to drop their weapons and surrender to them. Earl says they are taking his injured man to a medical facility, and they are not harmful to them so let them pass. Meanwhile, one of the SS soldiers informs Stütze that some English soldiers are coming toward them. He clears their path and moves away with his men. When they hide near the bushes and a stream, Harry calls the English soldiers to take them. But Stütze hears them and fires back and kills him. Ed loses control and he gets up from the ditch too to attack the Germans. Earl stops him and orders him to get back, as he does not want to lose another man. They keep laying in the ditch while the English and Germans fight. After that fight, they move forward into the forest, leaving the dead body of Harry behind. They plan to cross the German checkpost at night. Earl orders them to cross the German side of the hill when they get busy reloading. Now they immediately run to cross the German ditches but they open fire at them. Earl and his men hardly save their lives and reach a shelter. He briefs them that there are British and French on the other side of the hill. So they must not lose hope to cross this no man's land. They keep moving all night. In the morning, while they were running to reach the English positions, Stütze and his men found them. They open fire at them and Don gets shot in the process. Ed rescues Don but Stütze shoots him too in the leg. When they could not move and lay on the ground, Stütze and his men got them and killed them. Now they follow Earl and his co-pilot Raymond. A shell injures them and also cannot move further. Stütze kills Raymond and now he sits to kill Earl, but suddenly some shots start killing his men. The English forces reached the area and they started killing the SS Nazis. They killed Stütze in a single shot and rescued Earl. The movie ends when Earl reaches the base safely and hugs Deborah. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe recap in minutes for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.